الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وهو ولي المتقين والصالحين صلوات الله وسلامه على نبينا الأمين الذي بعث رحمة للعالمين محمد بن عبد الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا. So just to give you a heads up, because quite a few people here today, if you came for the food tonight, like the hadith said, whoever made hijrah for Allah, his messenger, his hijrah was Allah and his messenger, and whoever made hijrah for a woman to marry her or some grub to eat it, then your hijrah was for what you made it for. So tonight, the grub is pizza. That's what I love about this masjid. You guys are shakirin. As for me, I'm out. No. And it's so jamilukum. The other thing that I wanted to mention, ikhwani wal haq yuqal. I've been in a few masjids since I graduated from Medina. I was with Yemenis people. I was with people from Pakistan. I was with people from India, Hyderabad. They were my favorite community. And I was with African Americans. I was with different communities. This community, I must say this, I gotta say this before we get on to our program today, because death is always close to us than what we realize, and I want you guys to know this. In this community, we have a lot of Moroccans, Maghariba. We have people from Tunis as well, from Algeria, but the Moroccans are more, being in this area, Qasimi, Disney World, Sea World, you know, all of that stuff, that tourist stuff. A lot of the Moroccans work here in this whole area, Orlando, Kissimmee. And I wanted to mention this so that it would be known. Being in this community since March, met Guyanese, Trinidadians, Hispanics, Latinos, Puerto Rican, all kind of stuff. White reverse, black reverse, Iraqis, Egyptians, all of that. But I wanted to say that the Moroccans in our community, the Moroccans in our community, the Maghariba, I got love for them. Wallahi. There are different levels, darajat. So they are the people on the first tier in our community. My man Sadiq, Abu Anis, way up there, Abdul Ghani, Saeed, Abdul Fattah, Fatah Allah alaikum. Are you from Morocco, man? Yeah, you're not from Morocco. Today, Abu Asma, he wasn't here. He sent me a text message, he said, Afwan, I won't be there. I got stuff to do, this, that. I said, okay, thanks for letting me know. And his absence is felt. So I just wanted to say to all of you brothers, especially our Maghariba and Ikhwa, you guys are the arkan of this masjid as far as I'm concerned, and we have to stay ready. Yo, I'm being serious, man. We have to stay ready. Ahlul Maghrib. We have to stay ready to spread the sunnah and to make it do what it got to do. That's what I wanted to say to you, brothers. Love, not love for the Moroccan community here in our masjid. I just want to make some taliqat, ikhwani. I'm going to give a class that I wanted to give today. Really important class, but because I was busy and I was running around, brother was here checking in with my daughter and things like that, so I was kind of like discombobulated, disoriented, running around with him, his mother, this, that. They took me home just now and I just came back. So I'll delay that class because it's sensitive until next week, inshallah. And I just make a few taliqat and comments about today's khutbah. وَكَثِيرُ مَا هِيَ. On Thursday in this masjid, we have a class called Al-Khitaba. It is a class in which a few of the brothers get up on this minbar and people are in the audience and they give a khutbah. And then after they give the khutbah for 15, 20 minutes, whatever, they sit down on the minbar and everybody in the audience gives them their point of view. Criticisms as well as positives. So the brothers who are doing the class, the reason why we do this, if I ever go to Umrah, if I ever go to Hajj, if something happens, I can give the khutbah, we have to have people who can get up there and bring the noise and rock the house and give dawah to the sunnah and all of that stuff. So we have to develop the brothers. Sometimes I say to myself, I would like to open up the floor to say, what about the khutbah today? Because I know the brothers who are doing the khutbah, they're going to say to me, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that, you did, just to get me back. What I say to them. But really, just so that I can hear what people are saying, that's all. Because someone reached out to me today, and they said to me, they advised me, don't call people out like I did today. They said that when I mentioned about homosexuality being a sickness, that puts people in the line of fire and it's not nice. They may never come back again. To that, I would just say, after I said all of that, I said, I'm not judging anybody. We all have vices. We all have mistakes. All of us, everybody. That's that particular person's situation. I still stand on what I say. I stand on that business that no man in his right mind should be interested in another man. No man in his right mind. He lost his mind. If he finds interest in another man, then something is wrong. Don't blame me. Allah created men for women and men for women and women for men. And he created everything in a zawjain. And our ajdad from these Arab brothers, and not them only, but our ajdad, they never heard of this stuff. We come here and we start living in this place and all of this dawah that we're getting, we start thinking that it's okay. No. So the person who told me that, I said, I appreciate what you're saying. I really do. And I don't want to come across arrogantly or anything, but I'm going to stand up against that thing and make it clear in our religion. I don't make takfir of the person who does that. I don't excommunicate them. I don't say they're not on the sunnah. I don't say they're in the hellfire. Because Allah can forgive whoever he wants to forgive. Everybody is under the mashiach of Allah. The imam is given khutbah and this and that and this and that. That doesn't mean he's in the Jannah. And the other person is doing some wild stuff. Allah can forgive that person. It's not for you or me to put our feet in the arena of judging people. Jannah now belongs to Allah. But I don't agree with what that person said. I don't agree with that. Shouldn't call people out. I didn't call anyone out by their name. But that action, it's like someone stealing from the masjid. They broke into the masjid, they stole from the masjid, and then you call them out. Someone says, I don't think you should have called them out. That will stop them from making tawbah and coming back. No, brother. That homosexuality is a major problem. I want to read to you the khutbah, the hadith that I mentioned today. There's a narration. I want to correct that narration. He says, Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Inna akhwafu ma akhafu ala ummati min ba'di al-a'imma al-mudillun. The thing that I am most concerned and worried about and afraid for, my ummah after me, are the imams who lead people astray. The imams who lead people astray, making authentic hadith weak hadith authentic, spewing and trafficking in ideas that are foreign to al-Islam, people who want to big up criminals and this and that. He said, I seek refuge in Allah from that. Al-A'imma al-Mudallun. Al-A'imma suggests the Imam. The Imam, the word itself suggests that the person Rasulullah was afraid for his ummah from that person is the one who's in front of the people. The Imam. He's given the khutbah so people listen. And he's saying weak hadith and improper things. And he was afraid for that because people go astray. The Imam is the one who gives lessons in this masjid, that masjid, whatever. And people come and they sit down and they listen. And he's just talking nonsense, calling people to shirk and kufr and things like that. He was afraid for that. The one who has the ability to take speech and he beautifies his speech. Like Louis Farrakhan used to have that ability. Like Dr. Umar Johnson. Kalam Farik. Just get up there talking and people buy into that stuff. That's why we have to have filters and we have to have background knowledge. Bad imams are a fitna for our ummah. Allah mentioned the good imams in al-Islam, and this is what we have to nastahdifuhu. We have to try to make it our business to be like these people or give our ears to these people. The imams that the Quran has described. Allah mentioned in 3 ayat, وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أئمة يهدون بأمرنا وأوحينا إليهم فعل الخيرات. We made these people imams who are guided by our affair, what we revealed. And we revealed to them and encouraged them to do good deeds. Good deeds that are with Allah, not the good deeds to that imam and things like that. The imam says, turn off the lights, put on the incense, and say, Huwa, 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 Allah. That's not the fi'lul khayrat. That's innovation. It has no place in our religion. That's the Imam of al-Islam of the Quran that we want to listen to, that we want to follow, we want to give them a platform. As for people just be talking outside of their necks, we say no. Second ayah that I want to read to you, Allah Ta'ala mentioned, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. We made from them imams who are guided by what we revealed. And they were patient. And they had yaqeen about our ayat. We don't want an imam who he doesn't know who Allah is, where Allah isn't. He doesn't believe that Allah is over his throne. Allah is not there. He's not here. He's not there. So they're worshiping the ma'doom. Who you worshiping? And when you sit to talk about that, and you don't have to be a hafiz of the Quran, you just have to have basic knowledge. When you sit to talk, it's just confusion. That's not the imam we want to follow. And there are many. The last one is that the believers of the Quran made a dua to Allah Ta'ala, hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyatina qurratu a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Oh our Lord, make for us and bestow upon us wives and children, offspring. They will be the cooler of our eyes. And make us imams for the people of taqwa. Don't make us imams for innovation and shirk and apologetic Islam. So that you'll come Yom Qiyamah, you got to deal with all that stuff. Lying. You're lying, man. You're just lying. What are you lying for? Not our religion. So the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was afraid of the people who get in front of the people and they talking nonsense. And I'm here to say to you, I saw with my own eyes and I experienced it, how even on the Sunnah, people who are students of knowledge and people who are trying to do the right thing were led astray. Because we didn't have this thing about the imam together. We made taqleed al-a'ma like everybody else, and we just were blindly following people and what they said. It's not okay. Not okay. We have to be people who we have this minhaj as Salafi is a divine protection for you if we just know it. Are we perfect? Not perfect. But as you traverse upon it, it's not complicated. It's not rocket science, man. I have the mic. If I say something that doesn't sit well with you because of other information that you have every right to challenge what was said and to bring what you understand to the table in the best of, manners, in the hopes that, people won't traffic that nonsense. So those imams who are talking today, those imams who are talking today, like the one we mentioned today, they are a lot. They are a lot. So again, I want to repeat again, be careful what you give yourself to. Whenever you research in the internet, and we're going to be dealing with this, inshallah, in the coming days, you always, listen to me, you always Alibaba. You always have to write anything you're looking for. Let's just say you're looking for the hijab in al-Islam. Don't just write in the thing hijab in al-Islam. You're going to get everything that comes to you. Algorithms, everything. No. Everything you research, you should put according to the Quran and the Sunnah, or according to the Salaf. And that's going to shrink the research for you. It's going to shrink it. And even in that shrunken version, you still have to have a level of knowledge. So knowledge, learn the deen. Doesn't mean you gotta be a scholar, but just learn where you don't go for the okie doke. You don't go for the okie doke. I was listening, and this is a famous statement of a Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen. I want to ask you a question. Is Ibn Uthaymeen, is he ma'soom? Is he ma'soom? Abu Bakr Siddiq, is he ma'soom? No one's ma'soom except the Nabi of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen was giving a talk, and two names came up. Nawawi and Ibn Hajar. He said the meaning of the word Imam in al-Islam, huwa alladhi yuqtada bihi. He's the one who people follow. They look at him and they take his example. He said we shouldn't call a Nawawi Imam. We should call him al-Hafid, Sheikh. He said same thing for Ibn Hajar. And that's because they brought that thing about al-Asha'ira, the aqid of the Asha'ira to the table, although they were not drowning people from that madhab. They were people from al-Hadith. But their environment, they made some mistakes in the thing that was it was spread all over during their time. There's no way in the world Ibn Hajar, who wrote the explanation of Sahih al-Bukhari and finished it, unlike Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali, Ibn Taymiyyah's student, had he finished his book, it'd have been one of the best books in al-Islam. But he didn't finish. He died before he's finished. Ibn Hajar finished his book. And nobody looks into that book and says, this is an individual who is astray. He was astray in certain babs in aqid. He made mistakes. I don't even want to say astray. He made some real serious errors. Ibn Hajar, and An-Nawawi, rahimahumullah. The shahid min al-kalam is that the sheikh didn't want his students looking at them as an imam, because the imam is bigger than that. Bigger than that. And I remember back in the day, 30 years ago, when they were calling brothers, anybody who was the imam of the masjid, they would say, Imam, Imam, Imam. We used to tell people, don't say that. The imam, the person who leads salah. No. Imam is a big word in Islam. So let us know our imams, past, and the imams present from the ulama. And they're different from the people who give a talk, and different from the people who lead the salah. So as it relates to this issue that was mentioned today, and this is important, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we mentioned, made dua for the people of Sham and then the people of Yemen, and someone said, what about Najd? He ignored them. Made the second dua for those two countries. The man said, what about Najd? He ignored them. Third time, what about Najd? He said, that is the place that the two horns of a shaitan come up. Today's khutbah, we talked about how certain people take the hadith, the religion, and they want to bend it to fit their agenda and their narrative. This is one of those hadith that people have taken and they misuse it. I want to take this opportunity to say to our community, don't give the tafsir of this to this hadith. They said that هنالك الزلازل والفتن وبها يطلع قرن الشيطان. That's the place where the shaitans, his things come up, his horns. Najd is like in Riyadh right now. That's Najd, in that area. Riyadh. The Hijaz is Medina and Mecca. In this hadith, he said Najd. So people come today and say, this hadith is talking about MBS. This hadith is talking about Saudi Arabia. Especially people who have this Wahhabi animosity. They believe with ilm al-yaqeen that this hadith is talking about Saudi Arabians. Just like I mentioned Egyptians today, I didn't mention Egyptians to put them down. No. I'm mentioning Saudi Arabians to say clearly, this hadith is not talking about that. This hadith is talking about the fitan and the problems and the drama that are going to hit this ummah. The closer and the closer that we get to Yawm al-Qiyamah, there's going to be problems in that area. Is this the beginning of those problems? Of that, I have no doubt. Of that, I have no doubt. Allahu Alam. When a Sheikh al-Albani, and I was a student in 1990, what was the Gulf War? 91? 91. Saddam Hussein shot a Scud missile. It was on a Friday. We were off of school. Could have been Thursday. I don't know. Scud missile came from Iraq and it hit a madrasa in Riyadh. They said, school is off. No school. And then the fitna started. And Albani's position was, we shouldn't make isti'ana with these mushrikeen. Not from his hawa. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, inna lan nasta'ina bil mushrik al mushrikeen. The man was a kafir, mushrik. He came, he said, let me be a mercenary. I want to fight with you. I want to fight with you and you pay me. You fight. He said, we will not use a mushrik against mushrikeen. We're not going to use you. Another scholar took that other position. Al-Albani said, waqta idhin. Making isti'ana with these people has a future, and it has a fatura that you're going to pay. You're going to have to pay for this bill. And that bill is being paid for, and the floodgates are open. But the hadith doesn't mean MBS. Come on, man. Doesn't mean Saudi Arabia. It means that area. And if you go back and you read this hadith in the books of hadith, no scholar ever mentioned what you're understanding, past or present. So that alone helps us understand, don't give that tafsir, don't give that ta'wil. You have your hawa involved. Hawa. Does that mean that there's not evil? No, there's evil. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. No doubt about that. But the hadith doesn't mean that. Stick to the explanation that the scholars of Islam gave for the ayat of the Quran and the hadith. And if no scholar ever gave a tafsir of that or ta'wil of that, you make sure you have an imam that's contemporary who preceded you in your understanding. Don't you be the only one who came with that. That's what Imam Ahmed used to advise his students. Beware of taking a position. You're the only one that got that position. No scholar preceded you to that position. So this hadith means right now what's going on in BS. Who said that? Don't tell us some, person who was nakira. We don't know majhul. We don't know who you talking about. Make sure it's from the people of the past or the contemporary ulama from right now. There's another thing, a brother brought this to me and it was a good point. I appreciated it. The verse of the Quran from the verses of the virtues of Sham. Told you about 15 of them. Allah Ta'ala mentioned, Inni ana rabbuka fakhla' na'alayk. Innaka bilwadi al-muqaddisi tuwa. When Musa went to meet Allah and to receive the revelation in the blessed valley of Tuwa that is in Sham, Allah told Musa, verily I am your Lord. Remove your shoes. You're in a blessed land. You're in a blessed valley of Tuwa, Musa. And he took his shoes off. He took his shoes off. So the brother was asking, is this a proof that in Islam we should take our shoes off? He wanted to know, is this also an ayat that shows the virtues of Sham? Allahumma na'am. This is an ayat because Allah called it the sacred land. No doubt about that. But this ayat is not a sharia for us. What Musa went through, Lut, Ibrahim, Ishaq, Yaqub, what the previous prophets and messengers went through, it is not a religion for us. Unless our religion came and said, this is for us. I ask you a question. Tawheed was for them. Is Tawheed for us? Jihad was for them. Is jihad for us? Plural marriage to a woman is for them. Is that for us? No doubt. No doubt. All that's for us. Adam's children married each other. Siblings married each other. Is that for us? No, we can't do that. So the Sharia of those previous communities is not a Sharia for us unless our religion allowed it. So hear me out. And the brother is here. When Allah told Musa take his shoes off, that's their religion. And I'm sure I gave a talk because I remember mentioning this. The Nabi said, be different from the Yahud. Khaliful Yahud. وَصَلُّوا فِي نِعَالِكُمْ فِنَّ الْيَهُودَ لَا يُصَلُّونَ فِي نِعَالِهِمْ. Be different from those Jews and pray in your shoes. Jews don't pray in their shoes. The asl in Islam is that you pray in your shoes. Rasulullah used to pray in his shoes. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He prayed in his shoes in his masjid, prayed in his shoes when he was traveling. So the asl is to pray in your shoes. But you gotta have fiqh. We got carpets, so we're not gonna pray in the carpets. You have a nice house, got carpets, not gonna pray. But in Islam, we don't take off our shoes because they took their shoes. Rasulullah was about to pray. He took his shoes off. The companions took their shoes off behind him. After Salah, he turned to them. He said, why do you people have your shoes off? They said, we saw you take your shoes off. We took our shoes off. Following him. Al-ittiba. Al-ittisam. They didn't ask no questions. He's doing it, we're doing it. We'll find out later and sort it out. If he knew the ilm al-ghayb, if he was hazir nazir, he would never ask that question. Why did you do that? They said, we saw you do what we did. He said, I had najasa on my shoes. Jibril came to me while I was praying, told me take my shoes off because of the najasa, so I did it. Pray in your shoes. So this is not our sunnah. unless they're extenuating circumstances. Last thing I want to mention about that point is that there are two companions try to read about their brotherhood, especially if you have a homie that you're close to and someone you're really being a close brother to. And that was Abu Darda and Salman al-Farisi. You got to read as many hadith about their seerah together. Prophet put them together in one house to be brothers, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And although they were not biological brothers, if one died, the other one would inherit. And the one would be allowed to see the other one's wife without total hijab inside of the house. So they're brothers. One would allow to see his wife without total hijab. As Salman saw Darda and said, "Why are you dressed like this? You're not representing. Why?" She said, "Because your brother, Abu Darda, he has no need for me. He has no need for the dunya. He's praying all the time. He is fasting all the time. And he's just out, dawah, whatever. And he's not really looking at me. So I just leave myself like that." So that shows he saw her. Did he see her without any clothes? I would be not, no. But it was, the hijab was lessened. It was lowered because they were in the same house. Later on, the Prophet told the people, all of us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, iyakum wad-dukhul ala nisa. Be careful about entering on the women. One of the men said, "What about the hamu? What about my brother-in-law? What about my cousin? What about someone who's close to me?" He said, "Al-hamu maut." That person is death. You better watch out. So today we had a brother who had his mother here. When people were not here, she was sitting down here like some of those older people. And I want to say to you in the future, moving forward, we had some old people, African Americans, they were in their 80s. They walked upstairs. I told them, "Nah, you don't walk upstairs. Just come. We're going to put you in that office so they don't have to go upstairs." So don't find that weird. That's less of a fitna than the 82-year-old woman, the 85-year-old walking upstairs, falling down. La samahullah. May Allah protect them. May Allah protect them. So when that lady was here and people started coming, we said to that brother, "Hey, you gotta sort this out. She can't be down here like that. You gotta take your mother upstairs. Although all of the brothers are your friends and everything, you gotta take upstairs. It's not right." Plus somebody would come into the masjid and say, "Well, what they doing here? Like, what's this?" And the brother, without any argumentation, alhamdulillah, sends his mother upstairs. So concerning this thing, listen, Abu Darda and Salman al-Farisi. Abu Darda was a zahid, abid. He wrote a letter and told Salman, "Halum ila ard al-muqaddisa." Hurry up and come to this blessed land of Sham. Hurry up and come. Right away, Salman knew what he was referring to, all the virtues of the place. But when he saw that Abu Darda was really putting a lot of emphasis on the earth, he told him, "Al-ardu la tuqaddisu ahada." The earth doesn't make anybody holy. Because you're from Mecca or Medina or Bayt al-Maqdis or Sham, that doesn't make you a muttaqi. Because you're an Arab, that doesn't make you a muttaqi. Because you say Salafi, and you have Salafi here, Salafi on your shoes, license plates, I'm Salafi, that doesn't make you Salafi. That doesn't make you special. He said, may Allah be pleased with him, the thing that makes a person, the taqdees of a person, is his good deeds. And then he told him the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man abta'a bihi amaluhu lam yusri' bihi nasab." Anyone who his deeds slowed him down, Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the Sirat, you didn't go across real quickly. Anybody who has to be asked many questions, Yawm al-Qiyamah, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Where did that money come from? You did that. Why this? Who your mother? Why you didn't get dawah? All of these things. And as a result of that, he has to stand there and answer. He said, the one who his deeds slows him down, his lineage will not speed him up. Over the Sirat, Yawm al-Qiyamah. It's your actions, not being from a Sham or Bayt al-Maqdis or Medina or Mecca, or being an Arab or other than that. Being a Hafiz of the Quran, whatever it is. It's the deeds and the actions that the people put forward. Another issue is that hadith, if the people of Sham, if they become irreligious, then there's no good in this ummah. There's a hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is using the people of Sham as the measurement for the whole ummah. إِذَا فَسَدَ أَهْلُ الشَّامِ فَلَا خَيْرَ فِيكُمْ. If those people over there become bad, then there's no good in you. Some of the scholars said the meaning of this is during the end of time, when the fitna happens. When the fitna happens, فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِالشَّامِ. Hurry up and get over there. It's fitna. It's better for you to be over there. And if you go there during the end of time and the people of Sham are messed up, then Yawm al-Qiyamah is coming. That's one understanding. Another understanding is that the hadith is general. The hadith is saying if the people of Sham become problematic, then there's no khayr in the ummah. Has anybody here who is not from Sham, anybody here been to Sham? Anybody here? Nobody here been to Sham? I've been to Sham, and the Muslims in Sham need a lot of help. There's certain countries, like in the Khalij and the Gulf states, Islam is practiced on a higher level. Mecca, Medina, different parts. The Islam of Moroccans, that country, is not like the Islam of Senegal. Not the same. Not the same. So in the Sham, there are bars, there are women of ill repute, there are things that Sufism, all kind of things. There are a lot of Jama'at that are Islamic and non-Islamic, like the Druze, Nusayri, and all that stuff. Like, it's a lot. So does that mean there's no khayr in the ummah? We say no. Doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean that at all. The Jumhur of the ulama said that this hadith is talking about the end of time. And all those hadith that we mentioned about going to Sham, they're talking about going to Sham at the end of time. When the fitna, Isa ibn Maryam is going to be here, he's going to be in Sham. Dajjal is going to be on the scene. When the Dajjal is on the scene, you need to get to Sham. Because Isa ibn Maryam is there. Because those malaika have their wings, their ajniha, over the place. Because of the Ta'ifatul Mansura are there. That's what all of those hadith are talking about. Which brings me to this other issue, of the Ta'ifa and Mansura. Did you brothers understand the point we were making in the khutbah today? About the Ta'ifa and Mansura? You guys understand that? No? Do you remember what I said? All right. How many of you have heard there will always be a group of people from my ummah, they will be on the truth, they will be helped, Mansura, Zahirin, and they will stay in that situation. It won't hurt them. من خالفهم ولا من خذلهم حتى يأتي أمر الله وهم على ذلك. How many of you heard that hadith? There will always be a group of people from this ummah on the truth. How many of you heard that hadith? Many of the brothers feel that that hadith is talking about us right now. We have to be from the Ta'if al-Mansura. And that's sahih. But the asl of the hadith is not talking about us. And it's not talking about now. The sabab of the kalam, the reason why the Prophet said that, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of those hadith, because they have different wordings in them. Sometimes he mentions in it, there would not cease to be a group of people from my ummah who will be on the haq mansur al-zahirin. It would be like that until Isa ibn Maryam comes. Another hadith said, and Isa ibn Maryam will be from them. So when Isa ibn Maryam is here, the Muslims are going to be one ummah fighting against everybody, including the Dajjal. And when the Dajjal comes out, Isa ibn Maryam, with that fitna that he can't yuwajihuha, he can't fight that fitna. Not a Dajjal. He's going to kill a Dajjal. But Ya'juj and Ma'juj, when they come out, Isa's not going to try to fight them. Isa's going to get everybody and say, let's get out of here. And they're going to go up to a mountain. Anybody know that mountain? That's the homework assignment. Inshallah. And I'm going to give you one more homework assignment. And whoever gets this homework assignment, inshallah, on Tuesday, I'm going to take you to dinner. And it won't be that fried chicken from Crown either, or pizza. And I don't know, would it be fake? Would it be fake Red Lobster neither? We're going to go to a real lobster spot. Abu Asma doesn't have to answer the question. He's always invited, always. Listen. This is the last thing I'm going to mention in the third, the homework assignment. We gave a khutbah here about Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, giving advice to Qurayn ibn Ziyad. He said, Ya Qurayn. He took him by his hand, left the people, and he walked towards the desert, walked away from the people. He said, Ya Qurayn, the people are of three types. Never forget this, Qurayn. All of the people surrounding you at any given time are of three types. He said the first person is a scholar who was a Rabbani, a real scholar. He said the second one is a muta'allim, a person who is learning. He's a student. He's just not sitting there, not doing anything. He's trying to learn. She's trying to learn. She's trying to learn. There are some masail that face us, issues that face us, that my revert wife should know the answer to this question after being Muslim so long. You shouldn't be confused about it because it's a woman's issue. So if you were to ask some of our wives, for an example, what is the ruling of this issue with the woman's issue that happens to women all the time? She says, I don't know. We say, come on, you have to be a student. This is a woman's issue. This is concerning you, concerning the haydah and things like that, the ifrazat, things like that. That woman is supposed to know that. She can't be one of those people who, after all of these years, something that she has to deal with, she doesn't know. She doesn't know the proof. She doesn't know why. You got to be a student of knowledge. You don't have to be a scholar, but know enough where you can worship Allah correctly. Be a student of knowledge according to your ability. The third group of people we said was the homage. The homage. They're like riffraff. The third group of people. Amr, Bakr, and Zayd on the internet. You don't know who he is. You don't know where he came from. Is he a jinn, white, black, Muslim, educated, not educated, employed, mental health issues? You don't know. But he has a lot to say. He said the third group of people are like that. Riff-raff. those people who follow every wind that blows and they get behind everyone who screams out. Everyone who screams out, they'll find these people supporting them. That's the homework assignment, inshallah, for Tuesday, after Maghrib Tuesday. As you memorize that in Arabic, but you just memorize it from the point where he says the people of three types until he mentions that third group, because there's some kalam before and a kalam after. You guys got that? Text, you gonna try, brother? You gonna try text? Because I be hearing you over there talking about you killed this one, you killed that one, and you stabbed this. I want you to do this one, okay? You on the board? Memorize it in Arabic, because you're gonna have to need this coming up. Beth, Alex, all of you guys. Where you been, my brother? Where? Sheikh Saad, the Moroccan. Where's that at? Shanim. Mujahid. Welcome, Mujahid. Welcome. So that's the thing. Those three things. All right? Next week, inshallah, we'll deal with that sensitive issue. It's not sensitive that it's a problem, but it's sensitive that we have to take our time because we want people to understand what we're talking about. Anybody got any question today? Abu Asma, did the pizza come yet? All right. Naktafi bihadha al-qadr, inshallah. We'll stop here. We're going to get our grub on. May Allah bless you. Where is Abu Tariq today?